morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. We welcome you to today's show. Today, we're going to Let's Talk Fabulous with some guests about igniting your life, your year 2023. Do you see it as lucky? Do you see it as the year that everything is going to spark and take off? Well, I certainly do, and so do my panelist guests. So let's not take any more time. Let's meet them all right now. Let's do this. Today we have a treat for you all. Let me tell you this. We have people that literally are from all over the world. And they are specialists in where they dwell. Let's say it that way, because they dwell in working with the mind, in the heart, in the spirit, in the soul, and in energy to help you to ignite your life. So what I want to do right now is I want to go around and I want to quickly say hello to everybody here. Let us know who you are, where you are, where are you originally from, and like a sentence or two about what is your specialty, and then we're going to get into it. Why don't we start with Julia?
Hi, everyone. My name is Julia Gandy Torres, and I am in New Jersey, and I help people find inner peace, to make peace with their past, and to move on with more love, more joy, more self-compassion. And when we start from there, everything else just makes sense.
I love it. I love it. Next, Israel.
Hey, how are you? This is Israel Mandrake, and I spent the last 25 years of my life obsessing about the limitless powers of the human mind, and I help people reprogram their greatness and take the world around them and understand it so much easier by reframing it to their desires and what they're after.
Love it. Love it. We're going to go next to Juanita.
Good day, everyone. So wonderful to be here. I'm originally from South Africa, but I'm streaming in from New Jersey today, and I facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. I work with people's mindsets, and I help them to achieve their dreams and their goals.
I love it. I love it. And we're going to round it out with Angel Marie. Shine on. Where are you coming in from today?
Well, I'm coming in from Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for having me here today. And my passion is to help others, igniting confidence, joy, and abundance. And when they're seeking for that self-worth. So that's what I do, is I help that.
I love it. I love it. And we want to welcome everybody that's here in live and in replay, coming in from all over the world. And Helene Wilson, thank you for being with us. Michael, so great that you're here. And Caroline Brown, of course, she is our production coordinator, and we are grateful for her. You'll see her sometimes prompting us through the show. Thank you for all you do. I'm going to start by sharing something, and then we're going to continue.
And ask everyone to stand up and to take a deep breath. And we did some Tai Chi, we did some movements by moving energy out, and then we moved energy in. And you know, that is the key to anybody being able to have more confidence, is to be able to do that movement. You know that movement is lubricant? I love that one. Movement is a lubricant, and it's powerful when we do this. So thanks for coming on. I'm Angel Marie Monachelli, and I am right now I'm an 8-time best-selling author. And wow, this is the new one that just came out. I was able to share me, and this one went to #1 new release, which is very powerful, and that means in the day or the new releases, I was #1. Wow. You know, tips on confidence and understanding how you can step more into your confidence. And one of the ways is just movement. And yes, coming here and doing Tai Chi, getting up and taking your walk, getting up and doing a visualization, doing a meditation, whatever that looks like to you, and having a morning routine. In this book, there's a morning and evening routine. Of course, it doesn't dive deep into it. So there's a really good way right there, things you need to know about how to really step into your confidence and really come into your own shining light and ignite that. You have it all inside of you, and that's why I call this Ignite.
Fabulous.
Wow. Wow. Tamara, I'm honored. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And okay, so you wrote this book. We've had you on. We've talked about so much of you know how, and you helped me to, you know, like premiere when I did the workbooks, you know, the morning and the evening routines, right? And you brought it up when you hear this was alive. You go live all the time. You help people to remember to move. You help people to remember to breathe and to drink their water and all the things that we need to do to ignite our souls. So you were live, and I loved the bits in there. I loved the moments because you could see the pure joy of thinking about, because when did you become a bestseller in this book that you've been working on for the last year? When did you find out?
It was on the 6th. It was last week. It was a week ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
And
And in that week you became a 2-time bestseller, right? Okay, so 2 books in 1 week. Right.
yes.
What an amazing experience that is. And we want to welcome Skip Thomas. Skip, hang around for a moment because I'm going to share something that you just sent me last evening in regards to something that we're up to. So I'm going to share that in a moment. But I wanted to just also say that I loved the pure joy that you shared in that video when you held the book close to your heart.
Yeah.
And that moment in time that you allowed yourself to take. We don't take those enough in our lives, do we? And you did, and you showed it. And then it was so cute when you were like with the word, and then it was like, oh, you know, like, okay, we're out there, take a moment and share. And it doesn't always have to be perfect, even yet that we can find the joy in it. So I wanted to share that with you and start the conversation. But since we have Skip here, I'm going to take advantage and I'm going to share this because it is something that is coming soon to a TV near you. And it's the very first time. See if you can catch it, guys. Those of you that know about this particular show.
Coming this spring, by popular demand, the second season show on the Tour of Love.
And the E360 TV platform is saying we want the Tour of Love.
With winner of the first Global Impactor Award, Tamara Hunter, along with Emmy-winning co-host Skip Thomas.
We are going on tour, on the road. It's time. Love unites, and there is healing through connections. This is a worldwide movement, the Tour of Love.
Tour of Love.
Kudos to you, the Tour of Love. I love it. Kudos to you.
So Skip, I want to say thank you for that. Our Emmy Award-winning documentary filmmaker and co-host that knows what it is to raise the frequency of the world through love. Thank you for all you do. And we want to recognize others that are here because we have other light workers that are joining us, and more I know will be coming to today's show. All right, so now I want to get to it. I'm going to start with you, Israel.
Yes, ma'am.
You have such an interesting background in that you come from the entertainment world.
Absolutely.
And you are physically fit. You've been involved in that world too. Absolutely. And then you decided you were going to like shake some stuff up and get pretty rowdy about today's world and how we need to be healing humanity. Why don't we talk a little bit about that, and that we can take that we can translate that into being successful also, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to take the 2 pillars of what we just shared, starting with Ignite and then the Tour of Love, right? To look at both, we go back and we look at what ignites a flame. conflict. When two stones click, when a flint clicks, what happens? That pressure builds and creates something that can keep us warm. That would be igniting the flame. That's exactly what I felt. And Tour of Love reminds me of Woodstock and all the times where people realized, I talk the language of hypnosis very often. And the ultimate hypnosis, if you go to a rock concert and you see, 30,000 people who've never met one another, yet there's a certain tone, a certain sound, a certain frequency, like was said very much by Tesla himself, not Elon, but Tesla himself. He talked about how frequency and vibration is the secret of the universe. And in this world that we're in right now, filled with information, conflict, and people forgetting to listen and harmonize, both Ignite and Tour of Love sound real damn good about right now. So
I love it.
Yeah. And the origins of what you mentioned with entertainment, when I got into entertainment, I went to Las Vegas. Now, you want to talk about igniting a flame, that place is a powerhouse. But when I went there, my heart in shamanism found a way to sneak into the entertainment world and share something beyond the entertainment, which sounds like the same sneaky stuff you're up to.
There's no sneakiness in it. Hey, we go straight out there and say, hey, we're out there to change the world with the frequency. We're going to raise the frequency through love. And, we're claiming it because, it's time. And thank you for sharing that, because we need people that are ready to get rowdy and make it happen. And something that you shared, I'm going to go to Julia next. Julia, something you shared actually on Juanita's show was a story, and it was about frequency. And I mean, I dive deep into it. I love, and I see all your books, and usually I'm a book person too. I collect them also. And you're self-professed. You love to learn. You have a ton of credentials and education and everything. And you talked simply, and you told a story about frequency and plants and music and how the outcome was very interesting. And do you want to just give a little synopsis to that? Because what I found interesting in that was not only the story, but also the fact that frequency is something you can actually feel, and you were quantifying that.
Yeah, so that was a study done, I think it was in the 70s maybe, or in the 80s. It was two sets of scientists. One, they were older, they were all male, so they were older scientists, and then the other group is two younger scientists. And they wanted to see how music affects plants. How we all hear about that, we play music and the plants grow. So the two sets of scientists wanted to test this out in a very scientific way. So they had a greenhouse, and they wanted to play classical music and rock and roll music and do their studies, comparing the two. So the two older scientists go in first. They play classical music. The plants thrive. For after a week or so of playing classical music, the plants are all green and blooming and all this stuff. So then they go into the next week and they play rock and roll music, and the plants just wither and die. They didn't thrive at all. So, they're all making all these calculations and thinking that they're just observers. But then the next time the two younger scientists come in, and they started with classical music, and the plants didn't thrive at all. They were, again, brown and withered and all that. And so then the week later, they played the rock and roll music, and the plants thrived. The plants were green and healthy and blooming. So when the two sets of scientists are comparing their notes, they're like, well, what's going on? Why, the older scientists, the plants thrived when they played the classical music, but the younger scientists, they played rock and roll and the plants thrive. So what's going on? And here, come to find out, was that the older scientists loved classical music, but hated rock music. and vice versa with the younger scientists. So the younger scientists loved rock music, and the plants thrive. So what they determined was that the plants were actually picking up on the frequency, the love, the joy that the scientists were feeling. So they weren't partial observers or impartial observers. They're very much involved in the experiment, because we are all connected. We are all not just human to human, but also plants and animals. And that's why sometimes plants or, animals gravitate to some people and don't to others. And, so that's just always very, very intriguing to me.
And thank you for setting that up, because I think it really goes into rest of everything that we're doing for, let's say, 2.5, 3 hours more, because you guys are all going to be joining us when we go into another 2-hour segment on E360 TV that is Ignite 2023, that is primarily hosted by Angel Marie. She's asked me to join and have some fun with her, and is along with this group and many others, of which one is we have Kim O'Neill. She's going to be joining us. So exciting for you to meet her. And where did she go? Everybody's commenting so much, I can't even. It's like, okay, yeah, there she is. And I want to also go straight then. Now, thank you for sharing that, Julia, because what you do, I was very fascinated in that you, and we're going to go into this in the next segment. I want to really get more into your how you're really helping people to tap into their inner peace and love. And it's not by accident. You've been trained in this, and you are now taking it out there to the world to make a difference through podcasts and books and all sorts of amazing delivery systems. So thank you for educating this, because we're going to go into the whole idea now. Juanita, I want to go to you next. And first, I want to play something that I thought, oh, I like the frequency going on here. Here we go.
Good evening and welcome to Meticulous Moments. My name is Juanita Kapp. You can reach me at meticulousmacarons@gmail.com or find me on LinkedIn. Since the COVID-19 pandemic hit the globe, I've had the wonderful privilege to meet a wide array of fantastic individuals. These individuals have truly touched my life in so many positive ways. Amongst this group of people, there are authors, public speakers, life coaches, poets, leaders, and visionaries. They are the unsung heroes of our time. Therefore, I decided to start the Meticulous Moments movement out of a sense of my gratitude. It is my way of giving back to the community. Let us share and reshare their stories in an effort to build a better society.
Yes.
Fabulous. Okay, so Julia was on your show, and you guys can go and find that. You have the information now, and go and watch. And hey, when you're at all of these guys' shows and YouTube channels and everything, give them a like, give them a subscribe. Let's show that frequency of love and raise the vibration. So Juanita, you decided, I loved how you explained in your opening why you've decided to go out there and share the vibe, share the information that you have been gathering from all these amazing people, and have them on as a host. Thank you for that, number one. And then building off of it with what Julia just shared with us about raising the frequency and what Israel already shared, and the fact that we are focusing on igniting 2023. I'd love to hear your pearls of wisdom right now, and what
Well,
kind of things that you've been learning from all these people and what you bring to the world. I know you're writing a book. I know that much.
I am. Thank you for that pleasant surprise. I loved the fact that you played that intro. I really appreciate it. And yes, I've worked extensively with everyone on this school. And I just decided, I saw the world in a dire place during COVID in 2020. And I just decided I'm going to reach out and ignite people. I'm going to take, people do research and work with them and bring out that energy that they are exuding into the world. And I slowly but surely started to build a community of connectors, a community of leaders, a community of people who understand the fact that when you walk into a room, you carry that presence and that energy. And it's really been such a journey. A lot of these people, mostly all of them, have become close friends of mine, and we are networking and building because we want to make the world a better place and raise the vibration for everyone.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for what you're doing. Absolutely. In fact, you get a bell for that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we had some fun. So thank you for that. I'm going to bring our Miss Angel into the mush pot, as I call it. And I have one more thing to share for her. And then we are going to go forward.
And she did an amazing job in keeping the energy up, keeping the attendees, the audience engaged, and just made such a big difference in just the whole energy and the flow of the conference. Okay, so so we got a little shine on. Anybody that's been around knows that we love Angel Marie and the Shine On movement and the Shine On song, and you raise the vibration. You almost can just sing with, even though the lyrics are not in this version. You kind of know them, and so it's like, okay, raise the vibration, right? Okay, so, and we are igniting 2023, and I would love to know exactly this. You decided to write a book. You decided that we need to have 2 hours with these amazing people to share their pearls and golden nuggets to help people to be inspired. Yet, what inspires you and what ignites you?
What inspired? Thank you, Tamara, first of all, because that was just beautiful. Thank you. Just honor me so much. Always have, ever since I met you. So thank you, as everyone else. And thank you, viewers, for being here. The reason why I put this special together, Ignite 2022, is because I saw there's a need. We're very much right now in a place of overwhelm. Mm-hmm. And there's also a lot of feuding and a lot of anger. There's so much fear and doubt. And when we do come from that love vibration 528, we want to even bring it up even more. And bringing it up even more is bringing it to joy. And joy is at 600. Gratitude is even more than that. It's like 820. So bringing that vibration up like you're doing with the Tour of Love, you're igniting and helping people. And what I wanted to do is to have these key people from all over the world come on and give their golden nuggets, where you write down, because I'm pretty specific. If anyone knows me, I'm asking them to give, not sell, it is absolutely to give and to be in service. So how do I get up and do this? Because I'm so blessed by the love that I feel from everyone. And there's a connection intuitively that I have with my source, my higher self. And it keeps me going. And I really don't know how, but I get inspired just like excitement.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. And again, for anybody that is going to be around, let me just bring this up here. We have, well, I had it. I'll bring it up in a moment. But here on the E360 TV platform, or if you're watching via Facebook or YouTube, you could be watching the next hour for 2 hours, many of Angel Marie's friends that she's invited this time, because she's been doing this. We did it a couple months ago and she's going to keep it going. This group of friends that she's invited to help you to ignite your life today. And this is the pre-show to that 2-hour event, because I really am serious. I want you guys to have your pins out. I want you to have, yeah, that's a Tour of Love sticker. Oh my goodness. And I want you to have, and have, if it's your workbooks, your journals, whatever it may be. And I want you to be doing this as you're feeling inspired. And we have many of our light workers here. We have many of our thought. I have actually Joy Cooper Willett, I actually shared that, yes, I have been certified in hypnosis and I have been through NLP, and she was my mentor. And so I want to say thank you to Joy for being here. And all of you that are coming, I want you to also be looking who else is here, because community is what is going to change our world this year. We need to dive into it, and I mean head first. I'm not much of a diver though, so forgive me if I go feet first, but I'm going to go just as fast, if not faster than you. So anyway, which belly flops I don't recommend. However, let's just do this. Let's do it together, because together we can change the world with our hearts. And it's time. So thank you for everything you're doing right now. Oh, we're doing a mic drop. I love it. Ba-boom. So, okay. So fabulous. Yes. Fabulous. Love it. Okay. So I want to do this now. I want to go into, what is it that you guys feel today? What are you feeling today that you can share out, that you're not going to share in the next 2 hours, but something different coming from your share? Now, Julia, I know that we did talk already, and I'm so excited about your background. I'm so excited about yours. And Israel, oh my goodness, next. And I'm going to share something that you sent over, because, and I actually found some other stuff, and I really wanted to
Uh-oh.
have a few hours on this show because there's some stuff that when he was at the Luxor or some of the other stages, and he was doing some of the hypnotic stuff, and it was a stage presentation. Wowee, look him up. You'll have some fun with that. But here we go.
What positive life changes could you cause to reprogram your own mind, your own body, your own heart, your own emotions, therefore your own experience, changing the meaning of your story?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. So what would you like to share with everybody today that they can write down, pearls of wisdom that they could write down to help them today to ignite their life?
All right. So when we're talking about 2023, we've all seen the information generation begin to drown everybody who are teenagers, people who feel different, because we all remember, depending on what age you are, the world was much different not long ago. So the one thing that I would share for everybody, all ages, no matter where you're from, race, creed, ideology, it does not matter, is that the thoughts inside your head, I remember saying this to my son when he was 8 years old, all of us know how to reprogram our cell phone. Simply learn how to reprogram your mind, your body, and your spirit. And you cannot separate mind from body, and you cannot separate mind and body from spirit. It is always one, no matter where and who and how you are. The easiest way to get into it and to start to decode yourself, find the music that emotionally makes you move. Take that music, because music will take you over. Music will hypnotize you immediately. You know, all of the BS or belief systems that are running inside your mind came from other environments, other people, and other ideologies. You know, you ask people how they even perceive spirit, and they'll usually start to regurgitate what they were taught. Now, there are other places that you can go, and they are a little bit scarier for everybody, and that is going into a certain part of yourself to where you can talk to spirit directly. Just like a computer, and all belief systems are like apps on the computer, but we're all plugged directly in. And that is what I would say. And I would say weaponize your sense of humor.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. I am so in with that, with you. And learn how to reprogram your mind, body, and soul. Absolutely. And Amy is sharing reprogramming, change the meaning of your story.
Yes.
Love the comments that are being shared. Please continue sharing them. So that is absolutely something. And I will tell you this, to piggyback on what you just shared,
yes,
that I see music in many ways too as a time machine.
Absolutely.
You know, and so like if I want to go back, traveling back to even a period of time that maybe I'm missing someone that was very significant in my life at a certain time, I will oftentimes go on that Rolodex of my brain, right? And then I'll go in, okay, what was the song that we used to listen to? Or what was something, you know, turn it on, have a moment in time where I've gone into my DeLorean and, you know, put it back for that time, you know, in time machine, and have a nice little ride, right?
Yes. And you know what, Tamara, it's so wild because when you say, when you talk about time travel, in psychology, they teach subpersonas. In other words, clusters of ideologies that belong to you when you're, like, say, for instance, anyone who's a mother or a father. When you're with your children, you become a certain subpersona that is not the same being that is out enjoying nightlife. It's two different entities. Now, those entities are clusters that are created through engrams, or to put in very basic terms, anything we go through of intensity pulls the ideas that make sense of that outcome. Music can hijack that, and you can recreate it with inner dialogue and emotion. It's beautiful. You know?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Julia, I'm bringing you up now. I'm seeing you doing this a lot, you know, and your background. Okay, so I want to dive a little deeper into your background. Thank you for sharing this story, because what I wanted to do was to set the stage for people to understand in a simple way that, you know, when you think about it, and I really thought about it last night because I did watch quite a bit of all of your information, and I listened to that story a couple times, and I was watching your inflection. I was watching, you know, the interchange between you and Juanita there on Juanita's show as her, you know, because she was the host, and I saw this interchange like, okay, yes, we get it, because this is your world, you understand it. But there's a lot of people out there, it isn't their world. They don't necessarily get it completely. And you were able to explain it in a way where people can say, wow, music? But it wasn't the music. It was the way that the people felt about the music. And the plants were picking up on that. And then you go on in that particular segment, you went on to another story that talked about, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I've been there. I may have even been the host at times, where it was a family, and you went to a family's home, and they had just had an argument. You could feel it in the house. You went in the house, and you go outside, and you're talking, and yeah, we just had a big blowout, and you know, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
And then you go into, and this is what was really cool too. You go into the 3-foot rule. It's like, okay, you know, how far can we feel it? And I thought, wow, we need to really be talking about that, because when you looked at Angel and when she was speaking, and she goes on to say why it is that Ignite 2023 was so important to her to do for the 2-hour special. And the tears that were so genuine because of the pain that so many are feeling. And when we can take a time machine, ride in DeLorean,
turning on a radio or a record player or whatever, you know, your phone, whatever your mode of music is, or when you can do something, when you can look at that story, it really makes a difference. And you have training, and your training began with people that were making a difference. Israel said it. Okay, it takes me back to like the 60s and that whole thing. And the people you trained with were some of the thought leaders of the 60s and 70s. And they inspired you to then do what you're doing. And you've been doing it ever since, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I was like nodding my head vigorously when Israel was talking about, you know, the thoughts in your head. Because one of my main teachers is a master NLP practitioner. So, you know, he would say the same thing, that the thoughts you think are not your own. Just like your stomach digests, your brain thinks. So you have to be really conscious of what you're putting into that fertile ground that is your brain, that is your mind. You know, you can put in weeds and just let things get overgrown and ruined, or you can be intentional about the thoughts you put into your brain, into your mind, and repeating those things that are important to you. You know, and the what you were talking about with the peace building thing that I do is, you know, as far as like letting, you know, feeling the feeling of love or gratitude, or, you know, what Angel was talking about, all these high frequency feelings, you know, and if the science now says that those emotions come through our electromagnetic field of our heart, not our brain, but our heart. And when we can have that heart intelligence, it's not our brain intelligence that leads the way, it's our heart intelligence. So when we can come from a place of love, of joy, of compassion, that is felt outside of us. And they say 3 feet because that is the sensitivity of the instruments. It's not that it stops at 3 feet. It's just they can't pick up anymore. But we've all had that experience when we just felt, you know, something off by the person who's either we walked into a conversation or we walked into a room that just was kind of a little, you know, okay, I'm just going to walk back out and, you know, take care of myself. But, you know, it's knowing that this feeling that you're feeling is being felt by other people. So how can we, if we want a society that is more loving, that is more peaceful, then we need to understand that we create the field around us. We connect, you know, so the more of us that are mindful of that, I'm going to go out and I have a webinar that I do called How to Amplify Peace. And it's something that I've done for many, many weeks. And it's just, you know, you just watch it once and you go on your way, and it's free for everybody. But because I want to create a world that's peaceful, right? So the more people that I can lock arms with, then we can shift the society, right? So you can be a peace builder even by going to the grocery store. You can walk into a room and create peace just by amplifying what's in your heart. And so the more we can connect with that, the better our society will be.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm going to bring you up next, Juanita. And thank you for that, Julia. Thank you for going into it and explaining it more. And, but one thing I will say, you didn't mention, and I'm going to, because I thought it was fascinating. I found that out when talking with you, is that you went through a 2-year course because you wanted to go to Israel, and it was an amazing course, but you were able to go there and have that experience. And when someone is that dedicated and focused to make a difference, and then you're willing to go and put the education in for the outcome, and that's a big outcome, you know, I want to hats off to you on that one, because wow, that is incredible. So I wanted to mention that before we went on. So thank you, Juanita. You are doing all sorts of things, and you travel the world. You absolutely get out there. You're meeting all sorts of people. What do you feel your biggest mission and message is for everybody today, that nugget, those golden nuggets, those words of wisdom, you know, that pearl, that you want to share? I'd love to hear.
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. I believe that I have been sent out into this world to bring love and light and togetherness and peace. And many people have approached me and said, Juanita, you really know how to bring out the best in people. And I thought, wow, that's an amazing, amazing compliment. So I have dedicated my life to working as a light worker, working on the spiritual side, working on the mental side. And I often teach people that your mindset is a tool. It is something that helps you to excel and to exceed. So through the years of leadership and mindset training, I've really been honing a foundation, putting the foundation together for those that I engage with, because I believe if we have a strong foundation, we are able to develop the linguistics of someone else's mindset. That means I always start off like this, and that's how I capture attention with the people I speak with. I always say, you know, when I decided to be a public speaker, I decided to speak. And everybody's like, yeah, well, you know, you're going to speak. And then I say, but when I decided to stop existing and to start living, I decided to open my mind. And then I explain how we have different worldviews, we have different mindsets, and how can we engage if we do not take the time to learn the linguistics of how other people are thinking. So I just want to go out there and change community, upbuild, uplift. I love people, and I love bringing the best out in them because they do the same for me. I just love engaging.
Thank you for that. And what area of the world are you actually from?
South Africa.
South Africa.
Yes.
I mean, I could listen to your voice all day long. I mean, it just is so absolutely cool. And you were mentioning the name of your book, and I was going to try to write it down before we started. And I said, no, I think I'm going to let you tell us. What is the name of the book that you are in the midst of writing right now?
Absolutely. I went international bestseller with an anthology last year, Self-Empowerment Reset, Conversations with the Divine. And I'm also busy writing a book about my life and my journey as a light worker and as a martial artist. And the title is Brave, because I've had to face so many battles in my life, places where I've had to do things on my own and just had to really dig into that inner joy to get through the obstacles that I faced. So that's coming soon. It's going to be published soon.
Awesome. I'm going to bring Julia back one more moment because I forgot to ask you, what is the name of your book? It just was published, right?
Yeah, I published the same time with Angel Marie, and my book is called A Jersey Girl Finds Peace, and it's finding inner peace after a lifetime of anxiety. I was very young and had a lot of anger because I didn't like the state of the world that we were living in. And so I kind of had to work myself out of that from, I had this like low level anxiety until I was about mid 30s. So just kind of developing, teaching and learning all these different things that I've learned over the past 20 some years of really being on my journey and wanting to develop a way that I could have a more peaceful life. And then how can I help others now?
Thank you for sharing. And buddies, we have a fellow buddy here. She is a survivor, warrior, wonderful woman. And I want to hats off to that too, because, we celebrate with you. We celebrate with you. So Thank you on that one. And before I get to Angel, Israel, you said you're also working on a book. What's your book that you're working on?
Optimize 333. And it's about the optimization of mind, body, and spirit. And the theme of the whole book is based off of what I call positive life change hypnosis. It basically takes the ideology that people have seen hypnosis in and kind of dissipates all of the, again, BS or belief systems that have surrounded what even hypnosis means. So
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna, I'm gonna be watching for all of them because I am an avid reader. I love to read. So thank you for that. All right, now Miss 8-time best-selling author and multiple books on top of that. Thank you for inspiring us to ignite our day and the day after and the day after for the full year 2023. But we're focusing in on today, because today is what is ours, and this moment is ours. So, what do you want to share in your pearls of wisdom? Because you have so many. And I want to also recognize the fact that you all were just together not long ago at an event where it was about books and other things. And I watched some of that footage and the pictures and everything. And oh my gosh, it was like, that looked like fun. So, you can go out there and make a difference and also have a ton of fun in doing it, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. And, thank you, Tamara, again. And, being at that event and being able to hug on Israel, being able to hug on Julia, to hug on Juanita and be the co-host with her and being able to really to shine and ignite in the way that we work together was beautiful, and how we helped other people and having those people come back to us and saying, wow, speaker after speaker sometimes gets a little boring. So it was very beautiful that we were able to have that fun. And that's really what it's about. And yes, I teach a lot. I am the biggest teacher. I know that. The thing is our function in life is really to be happy. And this is scientifically and medically proven vibrationally that when we say the I am statement, there's only 7 ones that we actually really believe. There's only 7. And this is scientifically. And one of them is, I am happy. Because maybe you don't really feel, okay, I know, buddies, maybe it says in it, you're having a hard day, you're hurting. But yet, in reality, look at your life and how happy you can choose it to be. And that's what my commitment to the world is that everybody discovers that you can change your vibration 30 seconds or less naturally and ignite that gift inside you that says, I am going to be happy right now. So this is what I want to give to you. I want everybody to tap your heart. I want everybody to tap their heart and say, how do I feel right now? And maybe you do hurt. You physically hurt. I'm physically hurting right now. And maybe that is, and you just accept, oh, I'm hurting right now. And I feel sad. And then sooner or later, once you stop, you keep saying, okay, yeah, I feel that way. All of a sudden, you won't feel that way anymore. Right, Israel? Because the brain goes, you recognized it, and now you can move on.
Yeah, and the language of mind over matter.
Beautiful.
And helping you tap gives you a physical thing to do, and I'm way into the physical. It gives you that I'm going to accept that I'm angry right now. I'm going to accept that I'm happy. I'm going to accept I'm overwhelmed right now. And then once I accept it, I go, oh, all of a sudden I don't feel it.
And it's amazing too, because you see the prophets that always touch the heart when they're inside of co-creation. It's amazing because what happens when we touch any part of ourselves, it's where our mind goes. And to touch the heart, we all, for those who know Dr. Greg Braden and some of Dr. Bruce Lipton's work, I mean, that's the direct plug-in right there to point directly to the machine,
It gives me chills. It just gives me chills.
And also when Julia earlier, she had mentioned about that particular study, also Dr. Emoto's work on water. And she was talking about that and that emotional context in which the observation happens, quantum physics, that's the whole unfolding of the garden right there, to use a metaphor.
And I'm just gonna shout out to Skip Thomas, the co-host of Tour of Love again, and some of the contributors of this movie are the ones that you were just mentioning. Sacred Journey of the Heart, and this was Skip's was the director on this. He's in it and very involved in this project. He talks about it a lot, and it's something that we do connect a lot with Tour of Love and with everything that Angel's doing, everything that you're talking about now, because they need to be, like if we could teach what they're teaching in school, think about it this way. What would our next generations look like, right? Well, it's up to us as the mentors of those that are the next generation to say, okay, are we going to wait? Or are we going to do it today? Again, Ignite 2023 today. So thank you for that. I wanted to tie into it because we have the tools. We know the people. The information is out there. The science backs it up. It's time now for us to just say, okay, baby step it. And then until like things like tapping your heart. I love that, Angel Marie. I love it because it's something everybody can do. Everybody can do it. One way or another.
We all have that. We all have those tools too, and I have a lot of ones naturally that helps you. But I want to celebrate you, Tamara, and what you did with your 5 different books here. Okay. Because why? When I wrote this book and I wrote in here about the morning and evening, it was when people come and say, "What do I do?" and we dive deeper, I say, "You need this book. You need one of these books." Yes. Get it, because it gives you a roadmap when you kind of get like, right? It gives you that. So thank you for your genius and what you did by doing all of these books. And this is a nonprofit, right? I mean,
they're out there at cost basically because it's a give to the world. That's what many of us are doing right now. We're giving to the world, and that is what this is all about. And so thank you for recognizing it. And then Skip, thank you for being here. And our longest journey is the 18 inches from our head to our heart. And it's something he says a lot. And I always love it when he does, because, he says it in such a way that it's like, okay, that boom, mic drop, right? We've got a lot of those moments.
It really is. It's a mic drop.
Absolutely. So we've got a few more moments, and I want to encourage people to stay with us. In between this show and the next event that's about to take place at the top of the hour, come back, find us. You can find it on e360tv.com. So that's e360tv.com. You can find it on Angel's page. You can find it on my page. You can find it, I'm sure, on any of the guests here, their page. What would you like to invite? I want you to invite everybody. We've got a couple minutes left, and this is your time.
Oh, thank you so much. I want to invite everyone to give yourself permission to get rid of the distractions and to come and listen to these people, but yet ignite your gifts. And think about when they're talking to you, how you can ignite your gifts, because when you ignite your gifts, you ignite your power. And giving yourself permission. So I invite you with such beautiful love, joy, and gratitude for you, because you, the listeners, you, the viewers, are the ones that are making the difference. Because our vibrational field, no matter if you never leave the house, is still in the energy of the collective. So come with us and raise your vibration so that it can help the world. And that's feels good because I want to value you because you matter. So thank you for this, beautiful Tamara, and everyone on the line that's going to be joining me. And I want to say again, this could not have happened unless Tamara Hunter, she's my co-host for this next one also. And this is going to be so wonderful to have her come over and be the it's the beauty of meeting you 5 years ago. Yeah. And we just went. And
it's been that way ever since.
And supporting. And that's what beauty is of everyone that's going to be coming on the line today, is to invite you to give yourself permission to know that you matter. You make a difference.
Thank you for that. And I do want to recognize we do have Lauren Harris in the house, and he is one of the top people over at E360 TV and has his own channel now, his own network that he is building over there on that platform. So thank you for joining us. And also came up with the idea of the next impactor. So thank you for that too. All right. So with that, we are going to call the show wrapped and fabulous. Join us at the top of the hour. Go take your break. Go walk outside. Put your feet in the ground if you want to for a moment, and get your water, rehydrate, and come back with your pen and paper, because I know I'm going to be writing down major nuggets, and you will too. See you all there. Bye, everyone.
See you there. Bye.